Welcome to the Free Game Don D podcast, life, family, and business. Listen, today we're going to be talking about how dating is the interview process for marriage. I know some of you are like, duh. But here's the thing, like, people marry people every day and expect them to be something different once they get married, right? This happens every day, right? Hell, it happened to me. It happens to everybody. I'm not sure why you're laughing.
It happened to you?
It's happened. It probably happened to the person that I married too. They probably was like, this ain't the guy that I was dating.
You're right. Continue.
Right. So I think a lot of times, man, so we're dating somebody, you think you're going to turn them into somebody else because they got a piece of paper.
Yeah. And that's one of the biggest issues that I think even now a lot of people have. They get together, of course, when you see someone, the first thing, there's an attraction. You don't really know much about them. It's just, he looks good or she looks good. I want to know more. So yeah, the dating process allows you to interview and figure out who is this person? How much substance do they have? What do they like doing? Am I okay with what they like doing? Could I deal with this long term? Or is this something that I can't deal with?
Yeah, man. Listen, man, dating is certainly in the interview process. Just think about a job. If you're an employer and you hire someone and they come in, they don't have any credentials, they interview terribly, but you say, hey, man, you're the guy for the job. Would you hire that person? No, you wouldn't say, well, listen, once you get the job, you're going to be the person, you're going to change into something else. I know you're not qualified, but man, once I give you this job and give you all this responsibility and pay and everything else, oh man, you're going to be the person for the job. You're not going to be who you interviewed. You're not going to be that person. You're going to be somebody else. I know you were talking about how that's why some jobs give you 2-3 interviews, because at some point, if you are not qualified for that job, I'm assuming it's going to show up in one of those interviews at some point, right? So I'm trying to figure out, like, why do we expect people to be someone else all because, we signed some paper and we got a marriage license and now magically, oh man, they're going to be different.
Yeah. And the answer to that is no. They're not going to be any different than who they presented themselves to you to be. Now, let's not get it twisted. Sometimes when you meet people, you meet their representative. They don't necessarily let you know everything that they like or dislike doing. Think about dating. Let's say you're a football fan, so you're really into football. I may not like football, you know what I'm saying? But because I know you like it, I'm gonna act like I like it. Then you think we're gonna be, I can't even call them the Redskins no more, the Commanders. So then you think, once we get married, you buy me a Commanders, jersey, and I'm looking at you like, dude,
you kind of did me that way.
No, I didn't.
You said you was a New York fan.
Because
a
I'm
Giants
from New York.
fan. Yeah, that was.
Yeah. I like the Giants and the Jets. That's what it was.
Yeah,
but when I married you, I accepted the Redskins at the time, and now the Commanders. Okay. I'm a diehard Commanders fan.
Yeah, we got some problems.
No, we don't. No, we don't. Because I wasn't a big football fan, so it really didn't matter to me. But of course, when you're in that state that's playing, most people are that state's fans.
Yeah, shout out to you, man.
So I have a loyalty.
When I think about it, I mean, you did say you were a New York fan, man. So I really couldn't hate on that. I will say this. I think a lot of times when you're dating someone, you have to make an allowance for them to continue being who they are.
Yeah.
I think that's why sometimes we get tricked because we start dating someone and we're like, hey, you can't go out anymore, right? You can't drink anymore. You can't hang out with this person or that person because we're dating. You don't get a chance to know who you're really dating when you try to change them or mold them to fit what you want them to be, all because you guys are together. You got to let that person just be who they are, right? And then through that you'll decide, hey, okay, this person, they do a lot of things that I probably can't deal with. All right, just let them be who they are naturally.
Exactly. Because that's what the thing they say, people are going to when people show you who they are, believe them. Now, that's not to say that a person can't mature and evolve and make changes. But I'm just saying, like, if you met me in the club and you met me at the time, me and my girls was always going to the club Friday and Saturday, like clockwork every week. You can't, for you to think that I'm still not going to go to the club Friday and Saturday like we've been doing is ridiculous.
Shout out to y'all, man, because I met you at the club, man. But that's how guys do, man. You meet a young lady at the club and it's like, oh man, you can't go to the club no more. I'm like, I saw you in the club. First of all, I was there too, so I mean,
exactly.
Shout out to the club. The club's been good to us. Too. Yeah, absolutely, man. So I saw you in the club Thursday night, yeah. Friday night, and Saturday night.
Yes.
We was at the same club, so. Shout out to that club, man. That's awesome. But then the thing about it, once we became a couple, I was like, hey, you keep doing what you're doing. Yeah. I kept doing what I was doing. We didn't change anything, and I thought that was important. I just, I think that you try to learn from past relationships where you try to change someone, and I think what ends up happening is that you date someone. They're showing you who they are. You're trying to make them be something else. Then I think resentment kicks in, right?
Oh, yeah, most
definitely. They resent the fact that you're trying to change them, and you resent the fact that they won't change.
Yeah.
Right. But you don't really have a right to ask this person to be anything different than what they've shown you that they are. And when you ask them to be something different, you set yourself up for failure, right? Yeah. Like you set yourself up for failure. Well, at least I know I did, and other people did. I think a lot of folks do this. I mean, I think that, they're trying to make someone be somebody else because they, you can just do so much better.
Yeah.
I could have been like, you don't have to be in the club Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, Michael. I mean, I was there too, but you don't have to do that. But no, I mean, I thought it was important for us to just be who we were naturally. And that way we would know who we were marrying. I mean, there's some adjustments, of course, but for the most part, I knew what I was getting. I mean, and I think that that's important when you're dating someone. It's kind of like when you go on a job interview, the employer may say, "Hey, just relax." They want you to just relax and be who you are, so they can know who they're hiring, right? Yeah. But of course, we got the good face on, and we're doing everything just straight and narrow. Man, yeah. I don't want to mess up because I need this job. But
then what happened once you get that job with some people?
I'm gonna go right back to doing what I do.
That's right. You're going to get lax. And I think that's also why jobs do like this 90-day probationary period where they can really watch you, because statistically speaking, people will only be a particular way that's maybe not true to themselves for at most 2 weeks before they start to crack. Wow. I remember that from my psychology class. It was like, if you ever want to know if somebody is really that person, watch them past 2 weeks. Just keep on watching, and you'll start to see the cracks. Yeah,
man, I like that. Let me tell you something else, like Michael. This speaks to what you're just saying. Consistency. When you're dating someone, just watch for patterns, right? Watch who they consistently show you they are, right? If they do something a certain way all the time, then consistency is. I always say consistency is one of the biggest reasons that me and you have had a prosperous marriage, is because I know what I'm gonna get from you from day one. When we were dating, I knew what I was getting. We got married, you were the same person. I'm the same person. We know exactly what we're gonna get from each other. Consistency is so key when you're dating someone. You want to consistently know that this person is gonna show up this type of way or not show up this type of way. Because some people don't show up, and they consistently don't show up in the dating process. And you still marry them.
Yeah, because I was just sitting here thinking about, I had a good girlfriend when I was in New York, and she kept on talking about how great this guy was. But she said, but you know what? He's going to be exactly what I want once we get married. And I'm sitting here like, you talking about how great he is, but then you telling me some negative things about him, but you're like, I'm not worried about that because once we get married, it's going to change. Well, number one, they never got married, which was a good thing. But still, it's like, I think sometimes I guess when you're searching for love or you're just wanting to be able to have someone to call your own, you kind of make excuses for people, you know? And oftentimes the excuses wind up falling to the wayside. Like if you're a woman or a man and you're dealing with, someone and they're cheating or they're very flirtatious. Let's not even say they're cheating yet. They're just real flirtatious around your friends and stuff like that. And I mean, let's say, hey, if it's a chick, she bad, so it's like, well, she bad. She can't help it. She ain't really flirting. She's just so fine. Right? Kind of like when you met me, like stop. But because I was so fine. Yeah. I still am. But anyway, no, but to be serious, so you may give her, certain leeway. And then let's say you decide to take that plunge and ask her to marry and you put a ring on her finger. I bet you that man that does that thinks that, okay, now when my friends come around, she's not going to be as flirtatious. She's not going to do this and that. And then they get their feelings hurt when she's still doing it. It's like, wait a minute, what are you doing? Now all of a sudden, now you big mad. Before it was just bothering you, but you was trying to stay cool. Now your boys is like, dang, dude, you put a ring on her finger, she's still up in my face, man. What's up with that? What's going on with Shorty? Now you embarrassed and you pissed. And what do? She's not going to change. If that's who she is, that's what she's going to be. If that's who the man is, whatever he's doing that you don't necessarily like, I say something. Say something first. Like, I don't really like that. But if that's you, cool. Be you. And some people, if they really care about your feelings and your perspective, they may say, you know what? Yeah, if I'm calling myself trying to be serious with dude, maybe I shouldn't be smiling up in his friends' faces like that. Maybe that's not cool. I wouldn't want him to smile up in my homegirl faces. So let me stop that. You know? Yeah. But if you don't say anything, the person might not even know that you have an issue with it.
Yeah, but you know what? I don't think you should say anything because, because remember now, dating is the interview process. So I want you to naturally be who you are.
Got you.
So if you out here flirting, you doing your thing, man, then I know you're not marriage material.
Got you.
Right. I mean, so I deserve to know what I'm trying to, I need to know what I'm investing in.
Got
you. When I was, back in a long time ago.
Why your voice got all deep?
I don't know. I felt like I was about to tell on myself or something. But no, I know with me and you, I would always say, look, I just want you to be who you are. Like I'm not going to try to, mold you into anything. I want you just to be who you are. And I just think sometimes like you get into a relationship, we don't understand that dating is the interview process. That's the first mistake we make. We don't understand that dating is the interview process. Like we're just, I'm in love. And so what happens is you're dating someone, you fall in love, we're together, and now you start saying stupid stuff like, we're gonna get through this together. We're gonna ain't nothing. Hell up now. If you see this person is problematic and they got issues, y'all don't have to get through anything together. You're dating. And you can just say, hey, you know what? This ain't gonna work out. I mean, this is an interview process, and you missed several days of work. Okay, you didn't come in to work and clock in. Matter of fact, you were insubordinate. I ain't even hear from you. So we're not gonna continue this. You're still under your 90-day probation, right? So you got an opportunity to get out of this thing, man, before it becomes something serious, man. So I just think that's important. I don't think you should, say anything to nobody. If you're dating a woman or if you're dating a guy and you see him doing certain things, don't say anything. You guys are in the dating process. So if that's what he's doing, that's what he's doing. People show you who you are. You got one job. That's to believe him. You ain't got no other jobs, man. It's not your job to change him. You got one job, believe him and move accordingly. Just saying.
Yes, sir. I ain't got nothing to say to that.
I'm just saying, Michael, when you think about past relationships, people you've tried to change, people I've tried to change, people try to change me, and hey, I was still Donald Doe Jr. You were still your real name, Tamika. You were still Tamika Michael Doe.
I know you did
I'm
not
sorry.
say that on this podcast.
My apologies. But
I need the record scratch. Where's the record scratch effect? Oh my God.
But you were still who you were, is basically what I'm
right.
saying. So, and I think there's a level of resentment that kicks in when somebody's trying to change you, right?
Yeah, it is. And I think there's a level of resentment that comes in as well when you feel like you have to change that person.
Oh, come on now. Yes, sir.
It's just kind of like, you ain't grown up yet. Like, you haven't figured this out. And then you're kind of resentful towards them because you feel like a fool.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you allowed it to happen. You allowed things to go the way it went, and you didn't like it, and you didn't do nothing about it.
And then you start saying things like, I stopped going out to the club and everything for you. Hold up now.
Yes, you do.
Hold up now. But no, you know what? You probably did act. That's the problem. You married this woman and asked her to stop doing these things. And, and she agreed to stop doing them initially. Then she went back to doing them. And then she's blaming you because you changed her. And that's really what she really wanted to do at her core. But now she's got resentment towards you because you tried to change her. You got resentment towards her because she won't change. So it's just resentment all the way around. And all of a sudden it's like, oh man, this ain't gonna work out. Well, it wasn't gonna work out in the interview process. You knew it was gonna work out in the interview process.
Yeah, but you ignored it.
Yeah, man, but you hired her anyway.
Yeah, because I saw her potential.
Oh, you saw potential? Potential is overrated.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
I think you look at the divorce rate in this country. That tells you all you need to know about potential.
It sure does, because a lot of people are making moves thinking that once they do this, this is what the result is going to be, and they're coming to find out that the result that you was looking for is not what it winds up being.
Michael, that's hard, man, because I think back in the past, I've done things, especially as a man. Sometimes you'll make a purchase thinking that, man, we got this life, and this life is gonna make my fiance, girlfriend, wife, whoever change. Nah, bro. No, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. People are gonna always
Revert.
Revert. Thank you, Mike Hill.
I got you.
They're gonna always revert back to who they really are at their core at some point, right? And then they're gonna blame you for trying to change them. And honestly, they should be blaming you for trying to change them and not let them be who they really are. So that's on you for trying to change them. It's truly on you. And I think that when you accept that, it's just easier to move. Then you can get in and out of relationships and be like, you know what? I knew it wasn't gonna work out. I saw all the signs. So some of this is my fault for staying in it this long. But the only thing worse than being in a bad relationship for one day is being in a bad relationship for 2 days. So as soon as you see it, you got to get out, man. Get out of it.
Yeah. Yes. And Lord, yes. Amen. Amen. Because Lord knows, I can think back to so many wasted times, memories. I'm just glad you came along.
But Michael, that's why the topic.
So serious.
That's why the topic dating is the interview process is so important, because people, instead of them dating and interviewing somebody, they just automatically sign up for it. They just like all in, like, oh, this is us against the world. Us against the world with your boyfriend or your girlfriend? No, I don't think so. Okay, so let's you're interviewing to see if we can get to a point of marriage where it can be me and you versus the world. Right now, I'm trying to figure out exactly what I have, right? But I think people just jump into these situations and it's like I say, the interview process with a job. It'd be like if you came in, to interview for a job and they just hired you. You didn't even have to interview. I'm gonna hire you and then we'll work out all the issues along the way. Then you kind of find out a lot of the issues you can't work with.
Yeah. Right.
So you signed up for a long-term commitment, before you should have signed up for a long-term commitment. Right. So it's just important for folks to remember, man, you just have to you have to properly interview folks, man. And that could take some time for you to really know, like Michael said, you know, from a psychology course, shout out to you, Michael. Yeah, that psychology comes into play a lot, but you know, it takes a while for people to really show you who they really are, right? And that's why I talk about consistency was so key for us, because I was like, okay, she's still the same. I mean, dang, she's still doing X, Y, Z. So that was important. Consistency is important. Take notes on the woman that you're dating, whatever she's doing. Take notes on that mentally, make a mental note. Okay, she always calls me when she gets home at this particular time, whatever. And then you start seeing that changes up. Men are not that good at paying attention to the little things, right? You know, but the little things are the things that destroy relationships. So, or the little things are the things that determine whether or not the relationship is going to continue to go. So those little things you have to pay attention to, because they become big things, man. So, you know, dating is an interview process. Can't say it enough. I didn't really learn that until I met you. You know,
you and I had made so many mistakes by that time. It was like, okay, we got to try something new. Good Lord.
Yeah. And honestly, I guess, you know what? Let me take that back. I actually learned it before you.
Okay.
And that's how I got to you, because people couldn't get past the interview process. Right.
Gotcha.
And so when I got to you, then it was a different story, of course, but I still, hey, we were dating for 3 years. So you were in the interview process for 3 years. And so was I, you know, so it wasn't a one-sided interview. I mean, you had a chance to really see what you was getting into. And I think that's important for everybody, to really know what you're getting into. Make sure that you are fully aware and there's no surprises. I mean, yeah, there may be a surprise here or there, I guess, but for the most part, you understand what you're getting.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just sitting here and I'm ashamed to admit that I think I just jumped into it with you like, yeah, this is my boyfriend. You didn't have no interview. I was just like, hello. Hello, sir. So I didn't learn nothing, but I'm glad you did. Yeah, I ain't learned nothing. I just got lucky. Child. I got to be honest here. We have to be transparent. I ain't do none of that.
Well, I mean, yeah. Shout out to you though, Michael, man. Because I think sometimes, man, some women they're looking for something, and I think that when you met me, you knew what you wanted, you know, and that's probably probably why you just signed me up. You saw it and you was like, hey, this is what I want. You know,
I said, Jesus,
listen,
take
man.
the wheel.
Women always know before men. They always know. You know, you were in a 3-year interview with me, but I guess for you, I was on a one night at the club. When you saw me, that was it.
No, 3 nights.
3 nights.
3 times.
So the third time that you
I
knew.
didn't say nothing until the third time.
So after the third night, that's when you knew.
Yeah.
Okay, he got the job. Okay.
I don't even care if he don't know how to do the job. I teach him.
You teach him.
I didn't care. Oh, that's so embarrassing, but whatever.
Oh, man. Guys, listen, man.
15 years in, I can be embarrassed now. Oh.
Yeah, you know, but you know, we always talk about duplication, man. Because sometimes folks will see certain relationships and they're like, how did it get to this point? And you know, shout out to you for your transparency. For me, it was just like, man, you know, I can't afford to hire another bad employee. Because when you have to fire people, it costs money to bring somebody else in. It costs too much. So, man, I got to make sure that the next person that I hire to be a part of Donald Doe Jr. LLC is actually qualified to be my partner, right? So, and in full disclosure, you know, in full transparency to people who watch our channel, I was married before, so it was your first marriage. So, of course, you go through a you know, expensive, you know, nasty divorce, custody battle, all these kind of things. You know, you start moving differently, right? You know, you start moving differently. So, but either way, guys, listen, man, this is gonna conclude the Free Game Don D Life Family and Business episode of Dating is the Interview Process to Marriage. See you guys next time. Bye.